Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Carson if you're new here, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about knitting, mostly. Today I thought we could have a super casual knitting chat. Wilder's napping in his own room alone again, and Logan's here too today, so he'll take over wake up duty, so I have some downtime. So I thought, why not sit and knit and chat with y'all. So yeah, grab whatever the heck you want to or nothing at all, and let's just start. So I'm working on something new today that I just casted on yesterday because I have finished all of my works in progress that I was working on. I have a few that I might hibernate, let sit for a few months, some that I might just deem a UFO forever. But so let me show you. This is a frilly sock. It's called All the Frills by Summerly Knits. It's in her it's called I don't know. Let me see. It's in a sock bundle. Shorty Sock pattern set. So it comes with 3 socks, I think. 3 different socks. I was honestly really just interested in this one. They're all pretty basic, like the name says, but this one has frills at the top. And it's so cute, and I love the color of this yarn. I do think this will be a birthday present for my mom, which her birthday is in May, so I decided to give myself some time. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I just start thinking about a project and I get really excited about it, even though it might be for months in advance, and I just had to start knitting this, which is a good sign, I think, because I sometimes suffer from second sock syndrome. I think that's what it's called, where I get really excited about the first sock, knit it fairly fast, at least just like focus on just one sock, and then whenever the second sock rolls around, I'm just like, I'm done for a while. So I think it's good that I started these early. I don't know though if I finish them early, like if I actually don't have second sock syndrome, because these are shorty socks, and I tend to knit shorty socks faster because they're shorties. Not that, like I've said this before, I don't want to think about knitting things fast, but just the reality is these are shorties, so there's not as much to knit. But I do wonder if I finish these, if I'm gonna be able to wait until May to give them to her, if I'm just gonna give them to her early. I get really excited about giving people things and I can't wait. I'm not very good with that. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I've never gifted my mom. Oh, that's not true. Whenever I first started knitting, I knit tons of hats. Maybe y'all can relate. That was the first thing I ever knit in the round. After I knit a scarf, I think I knit one scarf for months. And that was my very first knitting project. But then after that, I learned how to knit hats, and it was a game changer because that taught me how to knit in the round. So I knit a lot of hats, and I gifted quite a few hats to family members because I realistically cannot wear all the hats that I was making. So she does have a hat. It's a really super chunky weight hat. I'm not sure it's very practical for East Texas, but she has worn it quite a few times. She wore it, I think I gifted it to her whenever she came to visit me in Washington, if I am not mistaken, and she did wear it there, so she is knit worthy. The reason I'm knitting her socks though is because she, let's see, I guess around Christmas, yes, because I knit my Nana some Christmas socks. I have for the past couple years because she loves hand knit socks, which is so sweet. She's very, very knit worthy, and she takes care of them, and she really appreciates them. Actually, at Christmas, I gifted her more socks, but she was wearing the socks I made her last year, which was so sweet. But my mom kind of made a comment. Someone asked me what I was getting my Nana for Christmas, and I said, oh, I knit her some socks. And my mom was like, that's the only person she'll knit socks for is, you know, Nana. It wasn't a, like, sassy comment by any means. It was like a funny punch, I guess. It wasn't sassy. It wasn't, like, backhanded or anything. It was just, like, a joke. And so I was like, you know what? She probably wouldn't expect it if I knit her some socks. So that's what I'm doing. I am knitting these socks up in some yarn that I just got this week from my local yarn store. Ooh, where is the label? Y'all know I'm so bad with this. Gosh dang it. I don't even know if I have the label anymore. I know I saw it. not too long ago. Hold 1 second. Good news, I found it. I did not throw it away. It is, oh, I can't read this backwards. It's Lang J-Wool cotton stretch 4-ply sock yarn. So it's cotton and it has a few different, okay, so it's, oh, so it's actually 45% wool. I thought it was like mostly cotton. 35% cotton, 13% polyamide, and 77% polyester. I thought it had, I'm getting confused because whenever I was in the yarn store, I knew I wanted to get her a cotton base sock yarn since her birthday's in May and I wanted her shorties. It just made more sense. And I was looking at a different yarn that had 0 nylon in it and I think it had linen, so that's why I thought this had linen. It doesn't. But yeah, it's for the most part cotton. No, mistaken. It's mostly wool, but the next biggest fiber is cotton, so. This is fairly rough on my hands just because of the cotton, I think, but I'm really enjoying it. It's like this really pretty gradient. Have I even shown y'all the ball? It's this really pretty baby pink gradient. I think it'll be perfect for spring and May and summer. So I'm so excited. I originally just wanted to get a plain white yarn, but I couldn't find any at my local yarn store. I mean, at least sock yarn. My local yarn store that I go to, Strings and Things, has a ton of self-striping sock yarn in Morocco, and they have a bunch of Lang. What other? That might be the main two. But yeah, they have a ton of self-striping yarn, which is really fun for me. But so yeah, this isn't really self-striping, but it is a gradient, and I'm excited about this. I also got some needles because originally I thought I wanted to try to knit these 2 at a time. Never done that before, but I thought it'd be fun, something new. But then I realized maybe not because the cuff is pretty short, or at least the leg, and there's really not even a leg, there's just a cuff mostly for these socks. And I just don't think it'd be very good practice for a first 2 at a time because I would have to go straight into like the heel flap gusset, which I'm terrified of doing 2 at a time. And you also have to cast on a bunch of stitches to make the ruffle. And so yeah, I was like, maybe that's not the best thing to do. But I did get a very long US 1 needle as well so that I could make some socks 2 at a time in the future. So I think my next project will be, maybe, I don't know, will be some 2 at a time socks. Maybe just like a basic sock just for practice. I would like to know, do any of y'all knit 2 at a time? Is it fun? Is it less daunting than it looks? I did make myself watch a YouTube video like all the way through. I'm really bad at tutorials, like watching them. I get not bored, but just like anxious, and I just want to do it. I'm definitely more of a trial and error person than like, I don't know, not perfectionist, but I just have a really hard time watching a tutorial without diving straight in. But I did force myself. I actually only watched how to cast on, so I have no idea how to do the heel flap and gusset. Yeah, I guess it was separated into separate videos, but I did watch a whole video on how to cast on and get started. And it looks a little fiddly, but I mean, DPNs are also fiddly and I can do those. So I mean, I have no doubt that I can do it. I just think it's gonna take some time some patience, which I don't have much of. I don't have much patience, but it'll be okay. I will try that in the future and I'm excited about it. So I also got that, so whenever I went to the yarn store, and that was it. That was all I got. So yeah, that's a long story about the sock, but that's what I'm knitting on. Let me know in the comments below if you're knitting on something, what you're working on. I am in one of those spots where I've finished all my projects that I had, or like I said, hibernated some. I have room to cast things on, and whenever that happens I get really excited and I'm looking at all these patterns, but then I get overwhelmed and I don't know what to cast on. Also have decision fatigue, I think, just from like work and momming and adulting. So it's hard for me to make decisions. It took me a long time to figure out if I actually wanted to cast these on, but I did, even though I had a plan for it and I was excited about it and I bought the yarn for it. yesterday, whenever I was like, okay, what do I cast on next? I had to think about it. Got panicked, but I just did it. Which I'm glad I did. Sorry, I'm having to count my rows. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, let me know what you're knitting. I would love to know. I might knit some more hats in the future, I think. I also just finished my sailor beanie, and I'm undecided on whether I like the way it looks on me. It has a point at the top. I'll show y'all next time with the podcast. I don't even know where it is, but I think we're gonna go to the park today, later, and I might wear it to the park and just force myself to wear it and see what I think about it. But I kind of want to make more beanies. I have a few skeins of DK weight yarn, just like single skeins or 2 skeins. So maybe those are just meant to be a hat, because I have no idea what to knit with just 1 skein of DK weight besides that. So if you have any other ideas about that as well, let me know what your go-to project is for like 1 skein DK weight yarn, because I have some. And it's very pretty and I would love to use it. I'm just not good at making decisions. What else should we talk about today? I have no idea. I just kind of decided to do this on the fly because I had the time. And I'm trying to be more present, kind of. We're home more this month, and honestly, just the beginning of the year, we don't have as many travel plans. So I thought it'd be fun to hop back on the tube. And I don't know. I do enjoy engaging with y'all, and I like watching knitting videos on YouTube. It feels like I'm kind of with a friend, you know, while I knit, because I don't have, well, that's not true. No, that is true. I don't have many friends that knit, but a lot of my family now crochets. So it was fun to hang out with them whenever we were back home, but I'm not home all the time. Well, I mean, I am home, but like in our hometown. I'm at our home, but not where everyone else is. So yeah. I need to make some knitting friends though here. I did ask our local yarn store if they had any knit nights or anything, and she said no, the people just come in and knit, which is fun. I have seen a few people there, and maybe I should just go. The problem is I work. I should stop working. No, just kidding. I work during the week, and that's when they're mostly open. They are open on the weekend, but the weekend's for my family, you know, family time. So I don't know. Maybe one day I'll have more space to be physically social and knit, but for now, I'm enjoying being back, I guess is what I'm saying. At least this is only my 2nd video, so I might just completely fall off the wagon after this. But who knows? We're going strong right now. We'll see. Like I said, still making 0 commitments to how often I make videos now. Just because, I don't know. Life is crazy right now with a toddler. It's fun, but it's crazy. But yeah, what else? I guess while we're talking about like intentions, it is fun to think about intentions at this time of the year for me. And I mean, I think everyone's kind of talking about them right now, but maybe it would be fun to talk about some stuff that I would like, some themes that I would like to keep in my knitting and in life this year, and that I would like to remind myself of. And again, if y'all have any specific goals or intentions, feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear them. But personally, mine is really simple. I just want knitting to be fun. I don't want any stress around knitting, which I will probably continue to not test knit often at all. I was in a big test knitting phase before I had Wilder. I guess during my 1st or 2nd year of knitting, I was like so into test knitting. I didn't do as many as some people, like Casey from Young Folk Knits. I feel like she's always testing something. I have no idea how she does it. But I was still testing quite a bit, and I just can't do deadlines. Like my work right now, my work that I've been doing for the past 2 years is all deadline based. And so whenever I have to have deadlines for knitting, it just feels more like work to me. So I'm gonna separate the two totally. Sorry, my battery ran out, but I had 2 on standby, so we're good. I don't even know what I was saying. I think I was talking about intentions. This year I want to separate knitting totally from like any sort of deadline. I would like to say stress. I feel like a lot of people claim that knitting is a relaxing hobby, and I guess for some people it is. For me though, it's not super relaxing in the sense of I just totally zone out and am so relaxed whenever I knit. My anxiety carries over into my knitting, especially like when I cast something on, I want to cast it on super fast for some reason, or if I'm getting close to the end of a project, I get like anxiety about casting it off, and I am working on that, but I don't think knitting will ever be just like super stress-free, like heavenly thing for me. I don't know, but knitting does quiet my mind totally. Like, I don't think about anything when I knit usually, which might be why it's hard for me to talk and knit at the same time right now. But yeah, I do, however, want to separate myself from deadlines that I put on myself. So I just want knitting to be fun. I don't want to like stress myself out about going too fast or going too slow. I just want to knit at the pace that I knit. And like, it'll be okay. Knitting is a hobby. I've said this multiple times throughout multiple videos, but I have to remind myself of that. I have a very, I don't know if it's a bad habit, but a habit of trying to be very productive all the time. Like, I love creating things. I'm a creative. I love making things from yarn, you know, knitting. I love just making in general. Yeah, I'm trying to think of my other hobbies. But, you know, I used to love art. I used to love making art, and I don't know, I just love creating. And like, my job that I do, I'm a writer, so I literally create stuff every single day, like content and whatnot. So I have a bad habit of carrying that over too much into life. I just want to be productive all the time, and like, I think it's gotten worse now that I have a kid, because I only have so much time to myself, and during that time, especially now that he's starting napping in his crib, this is a new thing, y'all. He's been a contact napper his entire life, which is a year. His life is a year. But now that he has crib naps, I've really been struggling with the anxiety of like, what do I do? Like, do I clean the house? Do I knit? Do I try to knit whole socks? Like, which is unrealistic during his nap time, but I just want to like exist. I want to be, you know what I'm saying? I just want to separate that from the feeling of having to work. So yeah, and I think that's why I'm not setting a strict time about when I might post, even though I want to be more present too, because I just want to like do what makes me happy and have fun with it. So that's my intention. And another intention I have for this year that's more of a, which that was a life intention too, but I honestly just want to be more organized. I'm really organized in the work part of my life, but since I've had Wilder, I feel like I've really, which I mean, for the first, I feel like a year, I was in survival mode. Like, I cleaned very little, because I mean, I work too. It's tough. It's tough to like keep our house in order, but I feel like it took me a really long time to think of our house as our home. But I do now. Like, and we enjoy being home. I work from home. I'm home most of the time. All the time, actually. And so I just want to keep it clean and organized and make it feel homey, in the sense of I'm not stressed out about it. Because whenever the laundry piles up or if things aren't clean, I definitely get stressed out. So I decided, first off, I organized the house like on the 1st of January, because we had some time off, and I went through, actually made like a good list of things, realistic things I could do every day. So like, one evening I cleaned out our bathroom, the next evening I cleaned out our closets, like stuff like that. And we took a bunch of stuff to Goodwill, and it just felt good to like, to get rid of stuff, honestly. Stuff that we hadn't used in forever. Yeah, it just felt nice. And so that like, definitely, it was a good feeling of like, okay, the house feels cleaner already. And then the next week I like made a list of places to clean, like deep clean the bathroom, deep clean this bathroom on this day, and it just helped me stay organized. Of course, I didn't like follow it to a T or anything, because that adds to stress. I have a really weird relationship with to-do lists. I love to-do lists. I love marking things off, but they also stress me out, because then I get anxiety about like what to do first, or the fact that I haven't marked anything off yet, or whatever. So yeah, I'm realizing that it's a balancing act. Everything I do is a balancing act, but so yeah, I want to be more organized, and with that kind of rolls into knitting. I'm not just talking about, you know, organizing my house. I decided, first off, I've always loved looking at planners, but I've tried in the past to keep a planner and like organize things, and it just never sticks. But I told myself I'm a new person, right? Like I'm a mom now, and maybe I have better willpower. I don't know. I just decided to try it again. It's been a while since I've tried it. And so I've been, you know, putting down meetings that I have. I love a good calendar. Like it's all filled in. It just looks fun. It's really fun to fill this in every day or every week or whatever. But I also want to start keeping a very casual knitting journal. I don't want to like vlog yardage. I don't have like a goal of having net zero yarn in my stash. I don't have goals like that. I like to keep my goals simple. Even saying that stresses me out. Saying that math, I've watched a few videos, and I know some people are just work differently, like they thrive differently, and I do not thrive keeping up with the amount of yarn I have in my stash. I don't want to know that. You know, like I just want to look at it and be like, okay, that feels good. I don't want to have like a numerical log or anything, or a goal of, I don't even, just like I said, talking about that instantly gets my heart beating fast. But I do want to have a very casual knitting journal of things that I've knit this year. So I kind of filled this out yesterday. For now I'm putting it in my planner because I have space in the back. It has like a note section. I think this is backwards. I don't even think you can read this, which is fine. I'm just giving you an idea. But eventually I want to get like a knitting journal, or like a dedicated knitting journal, something to use to log my projects, because I'm not good about doing it in Ravelry. So I did put down some stuff that I finished this year, which is crazy that I finished 3 things already, but disclaimer, a lot of those I casted on before this year. They just happened to be finished in the past month. But yeah, it's been fun keeping up with it and just looking at stuff. I think it'll be good too to have later, just to kind of look at everything, and if I forget what something is, maybe this will jog my memory. But yeah, I'm excited about being more organized and keeping up with my knitting a little bit more, just so I know, you know, because there is a lot of stuff, not a lot of stuff, but like these socks, I might not remember that I knit them a few years down the road because I gifted them. So not that I don't think that I'll like go back through my journals that often and like want to know what I knit, but I just think it'd be fun. It's fun to have, fun to look back on, to reminisce, to reflect on. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep knitting because I'm kind of at a point where I have to separate for the heel flap, and that's my least favorite part. Maybe I should, but I definitely will have to pause talking. It's okay, let's just talk a little bit more. I also want to keep reading more this year. It's been really fun. So I kind of wanted to show y'all what I've been reading recently. This looks crazy, but it's so fun. This is not the Bible. This is, it kind of looks like it though with all these tabs. But this is Empire Storm and Tower of Dawn. They're in the Throne of Glass series by, you know, Sarah J. Maas. Everyone's talking about her right now. She is the author of ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, for those of you who are not familiar, and Crescent City. I believe these are her only 3 series at the moment. But I read A Court of Thorns and Roses a few years ago, maybe a couple years ago now. I want to say right before we moved back to Texas, and loved them. They got me back into reading for a stint of time. I also read Crescent City. Did not love those as much, but I still enjoyed them. And I don't know why I held off on these for so long. My friend actually told me to read them forever ago, and I just never did. But my sister-in-law convinced me. And so I found the first one at the library, actually, and so I was like, you know what, it's fate. Because they don't have them, like, they get cycled through a lot of the library because they're pretty dang popular. And so I found it. I was like, this is fate. I just have to read it. And I did enjoy it. But the farther I got along in the series, I think I was pretty hooked by the 3rd book. There are a lot of characters in these books, like, and you get introduced to new characters, I mean, quite often, I think. And that's kind of why I've been going slower with these, because I didn't even talk about this yet. This is a tandem read, so they were released, you know, in order whenever they were released, but they're about separate characters entirely when the other books merged all these characters together, and like, I'm more invested in the characters, or I thought I was more invested in the characters in this book. And so I think a lot of people feel that way, because it's like, it's just a medley of characters, and they grow on you differently. So someone created a tandem read online to where you read certain chapters of this book with these characters because they're going on in the same timeline, and then you read certain chapters of this one. So it's more like one giant book with all the characters rather than two separate books with different characters. I thought I'd be more invested in this book, and that's the whole reason why I did the tandem read, but I'm loving this book right now. So I know if you haven't read them, that's pretty vague. I don't want to give anything away, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but let me know if you're a Throne of Glass girly like me, but I'm loving it. My sister-in-law claims that she likes this better than A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is a big claim to me, so I'm not sure if I like them better yet, but I'm definitely enjoying them, and I'm going somewhat slow. I think because first I had to set all this up. I mean, look at this. I did this because I did not want to look at my phone like the whole time I was reading them. I just want to like set my phone away. I don't love looking at screens after I get off work because I'm on my computer all day long. So to just chill out, I went ahead and tabbed all of them. I love that. Wow, that's so satisfying. So yeah, I tabbed everything. I made a really easy system to where I know exactly what book I'm on, you know, whatever time. So that took me a while. So it took me a while to get started. But then also I have been balancing my knitting and reading more because I've been in phases where I'm like for months, probably a year, I was just so focused on knitting I didn't read at all. But then whenever, like I would say around October, I got back into reading and then I just stopped knitting. So I want to be more balanced, at least just, I guess just do what makes me happy, you know, but I have been trying to like balance the two because I do want to knit stuff. I love making with my hands. I really crave that, and then I also love reading, so I've been going slower because I've been reading at night and then knitting during the day, or just, you know, flip-flopping, whatever feels right, whatever feels good. But I'm excited about these, y'all. These are good. I suggest. They're definitely not as spicy as A Court of Thorns and Roses, and they're good. They're really good. So yeah, highly recommend. I'm not sure how long I've been rambling on for. I feel like I've talked about a lot in a short amount of time, or maybe this has gone on for a while. Oh, I did want to show one more thing. I talked about my friend that told me to read that series like forever ago, and she even lent me all of her books, and I never ever read them. That's on me. I apologize. But the same friend, she is in Washington. She started sewing, and then she started making a ton of pouches, and I bought one. I was originally gonna gift this for Christmas. That's why I bought it, but I think that was like my subconscious. That's like what I told myself. That's why I validated it, but subconsciously I knew that I was gonna keep it for myself. So I did. I made this into, they're not like marketed to be project bags or anything. They're just pouches. And she makes lots of different sizes, and they're very high quality. I'm so proud of her. They're really nice, and they even come with like a lining on the inside. So this one's, I got like a smaller size. It's kind of in the middle of a pouch like this, which I was keeping notions in, and then a larger pouch that would fit like a sock. I think this could definitely fit this little project, but it's like, I don't know. I decided to put needles in here that's not in my needle set, so like just all the, oh, that's the needles I bought from my yarn store. That's what I was talking about. But I put needles and just like bigger notions in here for now, although I could definitely consolidate them into one. So yeah, that's what I did with this, and it's really cute. It has little mushrooms on it, so I just wanted to share that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I just want to share that. I might link her Etsy shop down below. I actually don't know if she has an Etsy shop yet. I'll link her Instagram. I'll link something down below. You should definitely go check her out because she has some really cute pouches. And oh, so on the subject of being organized, I organized all my notions and stitch markers and whatnot. So along with putting bigger stuff in this one, I organized this guy because it was so crazy. So crazy. So maybe I'll just do a little what's in my notions bag. I separated all my stitch markers and put them back in their original packaging, because before I just had stitch markers, tiny ones, just all in here, and I don't love that, especially with Wilder, because I don't want to like accidentally drop something and then him eat a gosh dang stitch marker. That's not that would not be good. So yeah, I just organized this better. I have all my stitch markers and little things. I have a couple of them, all my not embroidery, what do you call these? Darning needles? And then I also always keep some extra yarn for my sock heels, like putting stitches on hold for that, which is the step that I need to be on right now. I hear Wilder awake. He's not very happy. I guess I'll go ahead and wrap this up. I feel like I'm just rambling now, but I didn't get much knitting done, but that was fun, right? Fun for me. Yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Oh, what's that? What is this? What is this? What's happening? Sorry, I'm finding random yarn. Oh my. Oh, it's attached to my ball. Oh, okay. I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Thanks for sitting and chatting with me or listening to me talk about whatever I talked about. I don't remember. But yeah, I will try to do a podcast next time. It might be up the following week after this. It might not. I don't know. But stick around and you'll find out. So yeah, thanks for joining, and I guess I'll see y'all next time.